let's have a look at Kamala Harris's campaign team, because they've been caught out secretly editing news headlines in Google search to paint her in a more favourable light. This was quite an explosive story in the US. Michael, what do you think about this? I mean, this is literally fake news. They accused Donald Trump of fake news, but this actually is fake news.
Well, Harris's campaign team, I've got to say, have done an outstanding job so far. Anyone who's watched this station over the last 3 years, and anyone who's watched Fox in America, knows that Harris is completely unqualified to be president of the United States. But, you know, here's the thing. No one knew in America, apart from Fox viewers and Sky viewers, no one knew until a month ago that Biden had dementia. Most people in America have no idea that she has not given an interview yet. That's why her ratings are so high. They're completely unaware. They see her at rallies, they see her occasionally stopped by a plane. No one's aware that she hasn't given an interview. They just think they've read she's great because the hard left media are so desperate to defeat Trump. There's been this shocking protection racket of her, as there was of Biden's dementia, that she's getting away with murder. So none of this surprises me, and they've done an excellent job so far. The question is, can they pull the wool over the eyes of the American public for another 3 months? I think the answer is probably not, but they might.
Well,
they might.
Look, the media is helping with that. Have a look at this front cover of the Time magazine. They're basically saying, let's bring it up, it's time for Kamala Harris. I mean, Richo, you know, Donald Trump, unquestionably divisive, but there's no doubt the media would never get behind him like this.
No, I think that's probably true. Then again, if you're in my shoes, you say thank God for that. I'm looking forward to a Harris presidency. I can't wait for it to happen, and it will happen.
You think it will? What's your history of political predictions like when it comes to elections, Richo?
Pretty bloody good.
Look, it is looking that way. I mean, if you would have asked the question, Michael, a month ago, just after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, you would have thought he was a shoo-in. But there's been this transformation of Kamala's image, and it does look like, you know, she's giving him a run for his money.
Well, she's a narrow favourite to win, I would think. The recent polls in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania have her in front, and Pennsylvania is the go-to state for this election. If she wins the 19 votes there, she probably wins. But as I said, we're in this extraordinary twilight zone of unreality as to where people are looking and thinking, isn't she great? No. She was a hopeless vice president. She's the most left-wing candidate the American public have ever seen, etc., 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 all the things that Sky viewers know.
Yeah.
Yet she's in front in the battleground states, bizarrely.
Yeah, and concerns about her VP emerged over the past day or so with his links to extremists as well. Just very quickly before we go, I want to ask you both about these ugly scenes at a Sydney council chambers last night. These are Greens-led pro-Palestinian protest. It forced the meeting to be abandoned over safety concerns. This was all over a motion to boycott Israel. And the 8 Labor councillors who voted against the motion were actually escorted by police to their cars. 100-strong crowd. If we have time, can we play a very quick snippet? Richo, why can't these councils just collect our rubbish and stop worrying about foreign policy?
I think that's a good question, because I'm not sure what their qualifications are to comment on it. But one thing's for certain, you know, you get activist councils, and they'll consider themselves expert on everything and able to intervene on everything. They're not content with where council powers begin and end, and so they simply assume they can extend them. Trouble is they can't, and we're not going to let them anyway.